Welcome everyone. Today we will be discussing tools that will be used in the classroom. My name is Caitlin Wood. And my colleagues today are Allie Post and Alexa Kinlock. The first tool that I would like to discuss is RubyStar. RubyStar is a free tool to help teachers create quality rubrics. And while many teachers want to create rubrics, they don't have the time since they are so time consuming to create. However, RubyStar provides generic rubrics that can simply be printed and used for typical projects and assignments. The neat feature that I like about RubyStar is that it provides these generic rubrics in a format that can be customized so a teacher can include their own information, which is a pretty neat feature. A use that I found with this tool is that it clearly defines what level of work is necessary to achieve the desired product and grade. This can help the student understand the standard required of them. Also, it can be used for self-reflection within students. I had a first grade placement in which the teacher did use RubyStar to create a reading rubric for the students, and the teacher customized the rubric to measure overall reading performance, comprehension of written material, recognition of sight words, and fluent reading. Now, she used a numeric scale rating from 1 being minimum, 2 being basic, 3 meaning proficient, and 4 being advanced. And students were able to tell which number they got and what the rating was and what it meant. An obstacle, however, with the tool is that it can be difficult to use in the classroom as the website is not very organized. An option that I would suggest for the site is to have a list of rubrics in subcategories with the rubrics listed within that tab. Another obstacle within this site is that not all the rubrics might be compatible to technology used in the classroom. For example, maybe the classroom doesn't have computers or the teacher is using MacBooks, so there could be problems there when generating a rubric. So that's what my tool is with the RubyStar.
This seems like a great tool that teachers can put their own personal spin on.
Yes, it really is. Thank you for that comment. I'm going to go on to another tool that I like that I could use in the classroom, which is QR codes. And that can have many different types of information in them, QR codes, such as they can have a website, email address, phone number, or a short piece of text in the code. And most smartphones will have a barcode scanner as an app, which will need QR codes. For a desktop, you can also install a little bit of software that will use the webcam to read the codes. Now the site has a generator for the user to use, so they just put in the URL address. And this is a shortcut to help students reach online content. Now a use that I found within the classroom is that a teacher could put a website up, then use the QR code to make a code for students to access their homework. Or a teacher could also use the QR code for Word documents for students to check their answers on certain assignments. Now, an idea to use QR codes in a placement is to make it a way to share personal data with other students. For example, the teacher could hand out a sheet with all the students' QR codes on it, and each would contain personal information pertaining to that individual. And no other student would know unless they were told what QR code they had. But an obstacle that I found within this tool is that students may not have access to a smartphone or desktop to scan the QR codes to possibly get their homework. So that might be a struggle there. But another obstacle within this tool is that QR codes have a limit to the amount of data they can store. So if the assignment was too large, the teacher could not put that file within a QR code. So that's a struggle that could be possible.
What a great use of QR codes. I love the idea to access homework through a QR code and access the answers through a different QR code.
Yeah, I find that would be very helpful for homework assignments when students don't know what to do. They can just easily scan the barcode. So, yeah. Another tool I would like to discuss is eMaze. And this site is using templates to present vivid presentations. And many templates are offered, such as information, fashion, educational, and any kind of presentation can be created very quickly and easily. The website is able to provide a teacher to create quick, easy, brightly colored presentations on any topic through the use of templates. And a use within this tool is a teacher could show famous paintings to the class which is very vivid, and the class could truly see what the painting looked like instead of just looking at it in a textbook. So this is a great visual learning tool for the classroom. However, an obstacle would be that everyone being able to see the presentation if it isn't on a projector screen or a smartboard. And another obstacle within the site is that there are presentation tools that do not require an internet connection. However, you need the internet to create presentations, and with PowerPoint, you don't. So if the internet has bad connection in the classroom, you will not be able to access the presentation, so you'll kind of need a little backup plan. So that's the obstacle that I found within this tool.
This sounds like an easy tool to use and a fun way to engage students who have a variety of unique interests and learning styles.
Yeah, it really does help with those students. So thank you for that comment. And I would like to present the speaker next, which is Alexa Kinlock.
Hi guys! So today we're going to be talking about the CAS Science Writer. This is a tool that supports students in writing labs and class reports. This tool can be used towards middle school and high school students. There's a report structure so students can concentrate one step at a time. There is a process for writing: draft, revise, and edit. There are also sentence structures for the struggling student. This is a great way to get the writing started. Checklists are available to revise and edit. These checklists also help check content and grammar errors. A journal is another option to keep track of notes, comments, questions, or data. There is also a text-to-speech toolbar. This is a great tool because it reads aloud the text. Lastly, there's animated helpers that help the students understand what to do in their science writer. CAS Science Writer is an interactive, web-based instructional learning tool that is designed to help students in writing a complete report. This is a great tool for students to write a complete science report. It's a great way to scaffold the steps of the writing report and give students an organized structure for the report. This can be used in a classroom to summarize a lab that we did in class. Students that night could make a science report based on what they learned and did in the lab that day. But there could be some obstacles. This requires students to have access to all lab details at home and also need computer access. Labs tend to be done in groups, so some of the reports might be the same.
Yeah, I really like the CAS Science Writer, and I like how the site breaks the lab report down into steps, so this can be helpful to students who struggle with what to include in a report.
I completely agree. The next tool we'll be looking at is Crafty Extension. There are 4 extensions of the Crafty extension: Craft Level, Crafty Writes, Crafty Text, and Crafty Cursor. Crafty Level shows teachers the Fish Kincaid reading level of any web page. You can use this to see the grade level on the screen. Crafty Writes searches all images that are free to use or share. This avoids any copyright concerns. Crafty Text enlarges the text in the center of the screen. Crafty Cursor highlights the position of your cursor. This is great for showing others where your mouse is on the screen so they can follow along. This can be used in the classroom to see what level the web pages are. Avoid copyrighted images, display large text if a student needs it, and highlight the position of the cursor for students to follow along. For a research project, it could be a requirement that students download Crafty Level and only use the web pages that are above their grade level. There could be a couple obstacles. They need to be downloaded from the internet, so an obstacle could be that the file size takes too much space on the computer. Another obstacle is Crafty Writes doesn't guarantee the images aren't copyrighted.
This tool would be helpful for both visual learners and visually impaired students.
I agree. I feel like this could be very helpful for students with visual impairments.
All right.
The next speaker is Allie.
Thank you, Alexa. The first tool I'll be talking about is called Spritz. Spritz is a website that offers people of all ages a new way to read text in a way that tries to make reading easier and increase comprehension and speed. Text is streamed to the reader one word at a time, and the words are centered around what they call the optimal recognition point, which makes it so that the eye does not have to readjust itself as each new word appears. Spritz can be used in classrooms through a variety of applications and has shown great increases in reading speed with no training. One way this tool could be used in the classroom would be by downloading the application onto individual computers or iPads. Teachers could enter the text of whatever the class happens to be reading to personalize the lesson. and children who are slower in reading could then use this tool to keep up with the rest of the class. They could then transfer these skills to regular reading in the classroom. This is a newer tool that I have not seen used in a classroom yet, but I have seen accommodations made in my placement for students with reading disabilities. However, this is usually in regards to the level of work that they are doing, and if this tool was implemented along with regular accommodations, I believe it could increase students' reading abilities. There are many different ways to download the application, which could cause some complications. However, these bugs can be dealt with as long as the teacher checks on everything beforehand. And it may also be difficult to measure children's progress with just the tool, so teachers would need to develop reading tests to give before and after use of the tool to see how it has affected their learning.
Yeah, I like spurts. I think that there's many different accommodations for students who struggle with reading, such as a certain amount of words per minute, and I think that would help them a lot.
I very much agree, Caitlin. The next tool that I'm going to be talking about is called Kahoot. Kahoot is a free, simple tool that allows anyone to make quick learning games or quizzes. The topics can be on anything the teacher chooses, allowing the tool to be used in any subject. The options on the site include quizzes, discussions, and surveys. Teachers can add videos or images to personalize their Kahoot and make it more entertaining. Students then receive a code for their teacher's specific quiz. This can be used on any type of device, such as laptops, iPads, or phones if the students have them. The results can then be evaluated by the teacher after the fact. One way this can be used in the classroom is as a way to have every person response questions throughout a lesson. Teachers can have students log in at the beginning of the lesson, and as they go through, the Kahoot can ask short questions as a type of formative assessment and to make sure everyone is on task. I have not seen this tool used in my placement either, however, I have seen it used in some of my education classes. It makes a lesson fun and interactive, and it allows the teacher to observe where all the students are in the lesson in an informal quiz style. The problem with this tool is that sometimes the quizzes will display the results of each student along with their score, which might discourage participation or cause competition or embarrassment in the classroom. This can be fixed by altering the settings so that the results are not displayed.
This is a great tool to make fun quizzes with images and videos.
Thank you, Alexa. All right. Thank you for watching our video today. We hope you learned something new and have a nice day.